How's it going? Today, I've got the Weebill 3E gimbal with me, and I'm excited to show you how to balance it, explore its settings, and demonstrate some of my favourite shots. By the end of this video, you'll be ready to try it out yourself. You'll see me in action using the 3E, along with the results I get. Plus, I'll share some behind-the-scenes angles so you can see exactly how I do it. It's really simple, and with just a bit of practice, you'll get the hang of it in no time. Balancing this new gimbal is pretty similar to the older models. First, attach the mini tripod and place it on a flat surface. Then, grab the gimbal plate and attach it to your camera. In this example, I'm using the Sony FX3 with a 24-70mm G Master lens, which is my favourite combo these days. Next, unlock the tilt axis. To balance the camera facing forward, unlock the camera plate and slide it forward or backward until it's balanced. Once it's balanced, lock the plate. Now we need to balance the tilt axis. With the camera facing up, get it balanced by unlocking the tilt axis knob and sliding the camera up or down until it's balanced. Don't forget to tighten the knob again. At this point, the camera should stay in any position you leave it in. It shouldn't be too top or bottom heavy. When the camera stays in the position you set it, that's a good sign your balance is spot on so far. Now, let's move on to the roll axis. Release the roll axis, lock, and loosen the knob up here. Slide the camera left or right until it's balanced. Once it is, tighten the roll knob. Again, when the camera stays in position, when you move it, you're doing a great job. Next up is the pan axis, which is the last one. Unlock the pan axis and tilt the gimbal on its side at about a 45-degree angle. The goal is to get no movement at all when you do this. Loosen the pan knob, then slide the pan axis forward or backward until you see no movement from the gimbal when tilted to either side. Once you achieve this, tighten the pan axis knob. Now power on the gimbal and press the menu button. Toggle over to motor and then select auto. This will auto-tune the gimbal motors for optimal use. And there you have it. Your gimbal is now balanced and ready to use. To pair the gimbal with your camera, go into the camera menu and turn on Bluetooth. Then navigate to Bluetooth control, switch it on and perform a new pairing. On the gimbal, press the menu button, select blue shutter and connect the camera. You'll now be able to start recording using the button on the gimbal.
So I'm just going to go through some of the modes on the gimbal. At the moment it's set to pan follow. It stays constantly locked on the horizon, but as I move the gimbal, it will move from side to side. So this is ideal if I wanted to go round my subject like this. This is probably my favourite setting, but I'm going to flip it over to locked. Now wherever I turn, it will always face forward. So this is ideal for when you want to lock into a subject and just move along with them. It will always stay in that position. And next you have follow. Follow is wherever you move the gimbal. So move up and down, left and right. Very similar to pan follow, but obviously you can move up and down on this one a lot easier. So those are the different settings on the gimbal.
Here are a few go-to moves I like to use for my shots. The sidetrack. For the sidetrack move, simply walk alongside your subject, tracking them at eye level. The key is to keep the gimbal steady without any pan or tilt movement, so make sure the gimbal is set to lock mode. This shot can be done at various focal lengths, but I find it looks especially good at 75mm. The leading shot. In this move, I walk backwards while the subject walks towards me. It's a super cool shot because it really focuses on the character. For this, I like to stick to medium and tight shots since it's all about the character, who they are and what's happening on their face. The key here is instructing the person not to look into the camera. Instead, have them look around and act natural, glancing past the camera. Unless you're specifically aiming for a direct look into the camera, it's better to avoid it for a more natural feel. The leading shot, low to high. This move is similar to the leading shot but starts at the subject's feet and moves up to their head. It's a great way to reveal a person or object, transitioning from one aspect to another. To do this, set the gimbal to follow. If you're using a longer lens, lock the focus in place. Then, start the shot with the camera low at the subject's feet and move your hands up to capture their head. This upward motion creates a dynamic reveal that adds interest to your footage. The half-orbit shot. In this move, you'll circle around your main character. You can do this in a small, slow and tight way, or go wider and move faster around the character, depending on the effect you want. I really like using this shot for close-ups. It's a cool way to get a dynamic close-up with some movement, instead of just a static shot. It draws a lot of attention to your subject, because while the subject stays relatively still, the background moves and changes, making the subject stand out. The follow shot. The follow shot involves having your character walk while you follow behind them, typically at shoulder height. This shot makes it feel like you're experiencing what the character is experiencing, adding a touch of mystery to the shot too. The pullback. This shot is a great way to reveal the environment or your character within it. It's a powerful shot that can add a lot of depth to your footage. It's really easy to do. Start with the camera close to your subject and slowly walk backwards. This keeps the focus on your character and gradually shows the audience the surrounding environment. The push-in. This move is great for bringing the viewer closer to something in the frame, emphasizing the importance of a character, their emotions, or their actions. It often builds drama and suspense. For a basic push-in shot, start with the camera further away at eye level with your character, then move forward towards them. This shot works well with various focal lengths, but I prefer using a 35mm lens for this effect.